Okay, so welcome back and Happy New Year. Hope you all had a great time over the holidays. It's bloody freezing here. I think it's about -5 outside, but we're back at it and we're going to get on with the rest of the neck and get on with the neck carve. So yeah, let's get to it. There's quite a bit of thickness to come off the neck before I start the carve. So I've marked that line on with my 1:1 template. I'm going to try and take as much as I can off square on the bandsaw, and then we'll get on to the carving. I'm actually quite pleased with the way that went. I marked the line on both sides. I don't know if you can see it, but the line's still there on both sides, just visible. So it's always a worry that it's going to go squint, but that's reasonably straight, so I'm pleased with the way that went. So I'm just going to flatten that off and then I can get it marked up for carving. So I've deliberately left this section long, and obviously this section's got a good bit to take off, but this is now down to height at the 12th fret and the 1st fret, so now I just need to get them radiused. Okay, all that faffing about was just so I could get a straight edge that covered the larger fret markers, so that the curve starts after the fret marker and not in the middle of it, if you see what I mean. So now I can go and carry on with the faceting. Okay, that was a fair bit of faffing about, but basically what it's given me is 2 lines either side marking the first facet. So halfway between the centre line and the edge is the first line, and then halfway between the bottom blue tape and the top is the second line. So I carve out between that line, and that's my first facet, and do that either side. Okay, so that's the first one in, so hopefully you'll get the idea from there. Nice chamfer on there. So we do 3 of those, and then that gives us a good starting point to round it off. Okay, so that's 2 facets in now. So the next one I do halfway up between the edge here that I've just carved and the tape again, and then halfway down the slope and do another chamfer on both sides. These Shinto rasps, the saw rasps, have got a rough coarse side and a finer side. Really good for carving like this, very quick, and you can get quite a decent accuracy with it as well, so you haven't really butchered the tape that much. I've seen Neil Jelks at NSJ Guitars use a welder's glove when he's using these, and that's a great shout. You probably lose a bit of the feel, but oh, they're rough on your hands, these, but highly recommended, really good. So I'm going to get the next facet tape put on. You don't need to use tape, but yeah, I used it in the last couple of guitars and I quite like it. It gives me a more defined line to work to. So yeah, I'm going to get the tape on the next one, and then I'll see you back when that's ready to carve. Okay, so that's the 2 facets in. Now we're going to go halfway between there and just take off that corner there, and then we're in a good position to round it off. Okay, so there's not a lot in it, just very slight facets on these ones. So we'll just use the fine side. So that's it, that's the facet method. It's a good starting point now to get a nice uniform carve all the way down the neck. Just knock the high spots off that and then start to radius it. And all's good. So we can get on with that next. Okay, so we've got a couple of high spots here. You can probably just see them. I've actually pencil marked them in so I can see them clearer. So I'm just going to take those off and try and get their uniform radius, and then we'll take it from there. So once again, there's quite a bit of sanding to get this profile the way I want it. It's not far away, but a lot of boring sanding to be done. So I'm going to put some music on and I'll come back to you guys once I've finished, okay? Catch you later. Okay, so that's a good solid half-hour sanding with 80 and then 120 grit. Let's see this. There's just a couple of low spots here, here and here, but we're getting there. We've got the radius pretty good. Just need to sand out these low spots, or sand out the rest of it to get to these low spots. a little bit deep there, but the rest of it's almost there. And then we can get on to carving the neck joints. But nice grain, looks good. So, back to the sanding. There we have it. That's the neck now radiused and smoothed off. Feels nice, really nice. It's only at 120 grit, so I've got a lot of sanding still to do, but now I can get the neck carve completed, and as always I'll leave the heel carve until it's fitted to the body. I think it's time for a cup of coffee to cool down. Worked up a bit of a sweat this morning. Yeah, I need to go and wash my face as well. Okay, so with the initial radius done and finished on the neck, I can get onto this transition between the neck and the headstock. I've roughly penciled in where I want to carve, but I need to take this down to this level. So I've taped this off just to protect this section, and I will attack it with the Shinto. So now I need to draw on where I want to make my carve. That line coming up to meet there. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so that's the neck carve and the transition initially carved in. A bit of work to do on it yet, but I don't know if you noticed, but I actually dropped the neck against the vise, and I've got a couple of small dents in it. So I'm going to attempt to take these out with the soldering iron and cloth and maybe steam them out. So let's have a go at that. That was pretty quick. That's actually pretty good. That's taking them out just perfectly. Just try and give it a sand down, see what it looks like. That's just like an invisible mending, that's completely gone. Brilliant, love it. Okay, so that's the neck carve done, sanded to 120, the transition to the headstock done. I'm going to leave the neck here at this point because I need to jump onto the body now and get the socket routed for the neck before I can go back onto this and do the final carve. So when I come back, that's what I'll be working on. Okay, I think I'll call a halt to this video here. I've probably gone on long enough. If you've made it this far, thanks very much for watching. Please hit like, subscribe and the wee bell and all that, and keep up with the progress of this build and future builds.